So good afternoon and welcome back, everybody. Hope you are well refueled and refreshed for the afternoon session. We're going to move on now to talk about nutrition and Nestlé Health Science. And I'd like to ask Serena and Kais to come up and start things off. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Good afternoon. I am Serena Aboutboul, the head of the Nutrition Strategic Business Unit. And together with my colleagues, Kais Marzouki, CEO, Nestlé Philippines, Anna Mo, CEO, Nestlé Health Science, and Abigail Buckwalter, CEO, Nestlé Health Science US, plenty of CEOs in this presentation, not me though. We'll give you an overview of the world of nutrition at Nestlé. This is roughly a 22 billion business, weighted 70% in nutrition, 30% in Nestlé Health Science. But together, both businesses combined gives Nestlé a unique footprint as they are highly complementary in terms of channels, brands, and range. Nutrition is largely about food and beverage nutritional solutions targeted by life stage with massive retail presence, while Nestlé Health Science focus on the health continuum per life stage through medical nutrition and consumer care. But together, we share one common vision, which is providing healthier and happier lives for all through superior nutritional solutions. Now, we'll deep dive in each part. Anna and Abigail will cover Nestlé Health Science, and Kais and myself will give you now an overview of our global nutrition strategy and how it unfolds in the Philippines, a key market to Nestlé and a lighthouse to the category. As you know, nutrition is reported externally across several categories: nutrition and health science, milk products, and beverages. But today, we'll give you how we look at it strategically. This is a business that accounts for 18%, in fact, let's not miss 1% of the sales. 18% of the total Nestlé sales, being the third largest category after coffee and pet care, and we span with an extensive footprint globally across all zones, weighted more in AOA and LATAM, and our portfolio spans across mainly 3 segments. The number one, early childhood nutrition, the largest, which encompasses infant formulas, growing up milks, baby food, pediatric supplements. Number 2, the second one, kids and all family nutrition with cocoa malt beverages and all family milks. And finally, adult nutrition with nutritionally designed solutions targeting the adult population. We are global leaders in the first 2 segments, and in adult nutrition, we are just entering at global level, but in the markets where we are already present, we are either number 1 or number 2. A good example is in China, where we lead in healthy longevity through our franchise in Young. Nutrition is the result of a merge, the merge of 2 businesses in Nestlé, the former infant nutrition with the dairy business back in 2023. But this merge allowed us and enabled us to increase our consumer centricity, creating a unique portfolio of trusted global brands that spans across the entire consumer life journey from preconception to healthy aging, with one common denominator, which is nutritionally designed solutions per life stage. Nutrition is also the number 1 contributor to the healthier part of the group portfolio, with health star rating above 3.5. Now, there are 4 macro forces shaping the future of this market and informing our portfolio across the consumer journey. The first one is a headwind, the global trend on declining birth rates. That's indeed a global trend, but it unfolds differently per geography, calling for tailored strategies to adapt to each local reality. The second one, the population is aging, and the older aging segments are expected to be the fastest growing by 2030, and at the same time, more and more consumers and healthcare professionals are aware about the relation and connection between nutrition, health, and life expectancy. Number 3, health challenges are still persistent. As an example, later pregnancies may create issues in conception, but also malnutrition is very, very prevalent across the world. 1 out of 5 children below 5 years old suffer from stunted growth globally. And at the same time, connected to later pregnancies, and I didn't mention, the rise of preterm babies, which is indeed increasing. Number 4, polarization of consumers, of consumption, that has been mentioned before. Laurent mentioned this morning. And we see that, premium price segments after the cost of living of 2021, 2023, premium price segments and affordable segments are the fastest growing. This is a 160 billion addressable market across all 3 segments. And when we look into early childhood nutrition, that's the largest one with 66 billion, followed by kids and or family milks and adults. In terms of growth rates, we expect the first 2 segments to grow by low single digit, while adult nutrition will accelerate, also connected to the macro forces I just referred to. But despite the growth rates, we do see pools of accelerating opportunities above market average in each of the segments. In early childhood nutrition, we see 2 main areas that will outperform the category. First, premiumization. With less babies per household, we expect parents to spend more. The second one is penetration over inappropriate feeding, especially in high birth markets, mostly emerging markets, where still babies between 25% roughly of babies between 6 months and 24 months are fed inappropriately. In kids and or family nutrition, there are 2 main drivers. First one is convenience, with on-the-go solutions, ready to drink, healthy snacks, but also addressing nutritional gaps, especially at school-age kids, is also a main driver for us. In adult nutrition, we are focusing 2 segments, women's health and healthy longevity. Being healthy longevity expected to grow by 8% in 2027. Now, with this internal setup and the trends we've just seen, Nestlé has all it takes to be the global leader from preconception to healthy longevity. And our competitive advantages are mainly focusing in 3 areas. Number 1, we are a global powerhouse with deep presence, infrastructure, and distribution across all 5 zones. And we are global leaders and strong market leader in the most populated geographies. Number 2, our portfolio spans across all price segments, from premium to mainstream affordable. Examples of premium you see here, NAN and S26, our premium infant formula franchises, Nido and Milo core brands in mainstream, and a good example of affordable solution is Bear brand, which is a monument in the Philippines, and Kais will talk about it just in a moment. But these give us a unique competitive advantage to capture the opportunity of polarization that we just mentioned before. And finally, we do have unique science and technologies allowing us to launch breaking through innovation across all the segments. And here I'm highlighting 3 areas of expertise. You will see more of this for the ones visiting our Nestlé research tomorrow. The first one is biotics. We just launched our latest generation of HMOs combined with probiotics in our premium NAN franchise, which helps in boosting the immune system of babies and also bringing our solutions, our formula solutions, even closer to breast milk, which is the golden standard to feed babies and to nurture babies. Second one, we have proprietary technologies to address high-sensitive ingredients such as sugar by reducing sugars without compromising taste. And finally, when it comes to fortification, here you can see iron with best absorption of iron with our proprietary FerriPro, and also high-quality proteins through hybrids, which is a mix of dairy proteins and plant-based proteins, as I said, with high quality, great taste for an affordable price, and this too helps in combating malnutrition. Now, let's see how we've been driving the business so far. So we faced some headwinds in the past years, as you see in the first column of the chart. The first one is obviously declining birth rates, which puts pressure in our largest segment, early childhood nutrition. Especially in China, that was very sharp. In 10 years, the number of babies dropped from 17 million to 9 million today. Also, the rise of cost in raw materials with high inflation put pressure on margins on most sensitive segments, like cocoa malt beverages and all family milks. But despite the headwinds, we've been driving the business with focus in 3 core areas. First, we keep investing in high resilient segments. Our infant formula business keep gaining market share globally, and our affordable portfolio proved to be a volume driver, registering positive RIG. Second, we made portfolio choices by divesting dilutive businesses that were less strategic, like liquid milks in AOA and LATAM, or our meals and drinks, ex-meals and drinks business in France. But these choices helped us in release resources to focus in more attractive segments where we have ability to win. And finally, driving consumer centricity to seed and scale growing platforms like women's health and healthy longevity. The key principles guiding our strategy are: 1, keep expanding the boundaries of the category beyond the focus and core infant formulas towards maternal health and toddler nutrition. Second, value up nutritional solutions and sustained marketing investment behind core brands in kids and all family nutrition. And finally, deploy dedicated platforms to drive consumer centricity in maternal health and healthy longevity. Looking at the future, we are focusing in 3 growth strategic platforms. First, accelerating market share gains in early childhood food. And we'll do this in the following 3 areas. First, keep leading in premium infant formulas through breakthrough science-based innovation like HMOs that I just mentioned. The second one is accelerating the penetration over inappropriate feeding by scaling our affordable and mainstream portfolio. And finally, taking regional growth platforms very attractive like pediatric supplements and healthy snacks and go for geographical expansion. In kids and all family nutrition, we focus on driving volume growth by investing behind core brands like Milo and Nido, at the same time accelerating affordable solutions by leveraging proprietary technologies, mostly in AOA and LATAM, and also focusing in boosting our school age segment, and that's under the Nido franchise. And finally, the third platform is scaling adult nutrition by expanding geographically our maternal health, already very strong in some regions, such as in LATAM, and also creating a dedicated platform on healthy longevity. In this slide, you see examples of cutting-edge innovation that will fuel growth behind each of the platforms that I just mentioned. Number 1, non-synergity, and I will deep dive more tomorrow on this one, and that we refer to. This is the fastest scaling platform we have in nutrition and is a big bet, as mentioned by Laurent in the morning. Already reached 100 million sales since launch 9 months ago. Second, in all family nutrition, the examples here are Milo high protein in ready-to-drink and powder, targeting teenaging, and also our hybrid proteins under the Nido franchise. This example here is Central Western African region. We just launched it. It's really a fantastic product, great taste, high quality protein for an affordable price. In adult nutrition, we are expanding geographically our Materna franchise, which is a full range of products targeting the unmet needs of women between pre-conception and postpartum. Stefan later today will give you the fantastic science we have behind Materna, and also healthy longevity in China. This is Yin Yang, a range of functional powdered milks that is now really accelerating, growing very fast there in China, and we will scale up. Now, let's see how our nutrition strategy combined with sharp strategic execution at market level proves to be a growth engine to Nestlé and has also a positive impact in society. So with this, I hand over to Kais.
Thank you, Serena. So before I illustrate a little bit the growth platform applied to the Philippines, please allow me to introduce to you Nestlé Philippines. Nestlé Philippines is the biggest FMCG company in the country, and correspondingly, it has the highest trust and reputation in the country. Actually, we calculated back that every Filipino consumes, on average, 1 serving of Nestlé product a day. As a result of that, we are almost 1% of the GDP of the country, and as a result of that, we are almost 18% of every sale of every store you might walk into the Philippines. And this in the context of micronutrient deficiencies, which are prevalent across all ages, and especially when it comes to iron, calcium, vitamin B, and vitamin C, which really gives us a strong reason and a purpose to play a bigger role in society and in nation building. And I think that's what we have really mainly done through the fortification of our products. 60% of our range is fortified, of course, mainly vectored through dairy. We are also in the Philippines, a place where birth rates have declined, like everywhere else, since the pandemic. We went from 1.7 babies born a year to 1.2. We have climbed back now to 1.5, and given that we are the year of the dragon, we expect the trend to continue positively. Our consumers are also very limited in their means. Actually, 90% of our consumers have less than $3 a day of disposable income, which makes them really choose a very tight and narrow repertoire of products. And of course, as Nestlé Philippines, we are very proud that we have 3 SKUs and 3 products in this very narrow top 10 repertoire of FMCG products that they have in their households. And although nutrition is definitely the biggest share of our business, and we have been growing nicely thanks to nutrition, we see also ample opportunity to grow forward because nutrition really in terms of consumption per capita is still relatively low compared to other countries around the world. Now, if you look at the different age stages of our consumers, you see a number of brands, and these are all our Nestlé brands, in each of these territories. And all of these brands have been able to be positioned in a way that they don't compete with each other so that we can orchestrate their growth interdependently of each other. As a result of that, we are the leading player in each of the segments where our brands play. And we have been driving growth of all these categories over the years. The relative brand equity of each of these brands is at least 40% higher than the next competitor. As a result of that, I think we have the license to also drive the growth going forward. Now let me take you through each one of these stages and to share with you what we have done so far and our focus going forward. Starting with early childhood nutrition. That's a $1 billion category where we have been really also the main player in over the years with 2 main brands, Wyeth and Nestlé. And thanks to the technology that we have applied in different ways across the different price tiers of our brands, we have been able to have a competitive advantage over time, and also for the fact of having clinical local trials have demonstrated the impact on our Filipino children. We also have one brand, the leading brand, which is Bona, which is a local brand designed especially for Filipino children, emphasizing the point that Laurent made this morning that we are the most local and the most multinational company in the world. And you can see the corresponding sales CAGR in a category that is growing 4% this year. When it comes to digital ecosystem, we are also leading the way, and we have Parent Team, which is this big site which really holds the hand of new parents every year in accompanying them to make the right choices and decisions for their children. And beyond that, I think we have done a great job when it comes to building our brands, both with consumer and with healthcare professionals, which play a key role still today in the Philippines in influencing the parents of our consumers and really leading both in terms of recommendation and in terms of share of mind. Going forward, we'll continue to do the same, but I think there are a few platforms I just would like to highlight to you because they really offer very interesting prospects. The first one is more on the bottom of the pyramid, because the penetration of infant formula is really quite low in the Philippines because of high prevalence of breastfeeding, which is good, but also because of inappropriate substitutes, which is something we want to address, with a range of age-appropriate nutrition that we will roll out at an affordable price in the coming months. On the other side of the spectrum, in the premium side, there is one segment which is catch-up growth, where we have not been playing in, where we have launched this year Ascenda, and the growth of Ascenda has been really spectacular, to say the least, and we really expect this business to be a big growth driver for us in the coming years. Last but not least, vitamins and supplements is a relatively big category in the Philippines, but the pediatric supplements segment is still not existing, and I think we have also a role we can play also to emphasize and build further our brands in this segment. Moving on to the second category, which is even bigger and twice as big in volume, is all family milk. And there we have two big brands that have single-handedly really built this category over the years. The first one is Bear brand, our all family milk, which has a very strong value proposition and remain at accessible price points because in this category, we do compete with local players. The second one is Milo, and Milo has a very unique profile and strong proposition linked to sports, which enabled us to really build a lot of grassroots and sampling activities that made Milo what it is today. Just to illustrate the point, both brands have more than 90% household penetration, and both leading SKUs of each brand are in the top 5 most distributed SKUs in the Philippines today. Obviously, we'll continue to unlock the growth here because even if they're so big, the consumption with the core target group is still limited to 2-3 times a week. So we have ample room to grow further. And we will do that with the proprietary technology that Serena detailed before, for example, for Fairy Pro for Bear brands. And we will also enter more affordable solutions like hybrid solutions with soy, bringing the power of 2 proteins from milk and from soy into more households. Last but not least, Milo is mainly made out of milk, and therefore we have a school-friendly logo, and we will unlock also the school and university channels. At the same time, we'll capitalize also on the fast-growing ready-to-drink segment, which you have seen also in the coffee presentation. Last but not least, the smaller segment, but probably the most promising in terms of growth, because the proportion of adults over the age of 25 will grow in the Philippines from 51 to 58% over the next 5 years. Here, we have extended in the past our Bear brands into sterilized and RTD and into powder with Adult Plus, creating again this segment, differentiating and premiumizing all family milk. We'll continue to do that, expand it further, capitalize on ready to drink once again, and also develop more functional solutions that are really more targeted towards the age of our consumers. And last but not least, to close the loop and come back to maternal health is, I think, also an interesting opportunity for us. We'll come in with a 2-tier approach with 2 different brands so we can capitalize on each segment. Okay, having said that, I'll hand over to Serena for closing.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so we expect you to take few key messages out of this presentation. Number 1, nutrition is core to Nestlé. It's our very foundation, and it's a core business for us with attractive growth poised to accelerate. Premiumization, affordable solutions, adult nutrition. Second, we are uniquely positioned to lead from preconception to healthy longevity. You've just seen the Philippines as a great example, but this is a global strategy and is being rolled out across all our key markets. And finally, we focus on 3 growth strategic platforms: accelerating market share gains in early childhood nutrition, drive volume growth in kids and all family nutrition, And finally, scaling adult nutrition, focusing on women's health and healthy longevity. Thank you very much for your attention. With this, I hand over to Anna and Abigail that will cover Nestlé Health Science. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Great job.